The Sharks look to bounce back against one of the best teams in the NHL.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. My name is JD Young, caretaker at the Reef, also the co-host of Locked On NHL. I want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. Proudly part of the Locked On Network. We cover your team every day. And if you want to be an everydayer, all you have to do, just follow along wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. And today we'll be doing our getting to know the Devils, even though the Sharks just played the Devils last week. So we'll get to know the Devils, look at how these two teams match up, look at the lines for today, and then, of course, the big storylines to watch for tonight as the Sharks look to bounce back after a brutal 4-3 loss to the LA Kings, but unfortunately host one of the best teams in the NHL. So let's see how these two teams match up here. For the Devils, they're 8-2-0, coming off a loss to the Colorado Avalanche, where they gave up 8. Your Sharks are 2-6-2. The Devils have the best offense in the NHL, averaging 3.9 goals for per game. First, defensively, they allow 3 goals a game, which is 12th best in the NHL. The power play is at 58.6, which is 5th best in the NHL. The PK is at 83.8, 10th best in the NHL. For your Sharks, the offense is at 3.2 goals per game, 17th. They allow 4.6 goals, 32nd. The power play is operating at 42.3, 10%, and the PK is 66.7, 28th. Hughes leads the team in goals. Bratt leads the team in assists with 8, and then Hughes leads the team with 14 points. Celebrini leads in all categories with 6 goals, 10 assists, and 16 points. As we've seen from this Devils team, they are very, very good at 5-on-5. They've given up their fair share of goals at 5-on-5, so that's something they're going to have to continue to work on, but they score. The power play is very good. The PK has been solid as well. And they've got maybe a little bit of not great goaltending, especially with Jacob Markstrom has been kind of dealing with some injuries here. But this is a very good Devils team that went on a ridiculous 8-win run. Now that has bookended with losses at the beginning, and their last game they had a loss as well. So we just saw this team last week. We know this is a very good Devils team, and the Sharks are going to have their hands full tonight when they host the New Jersey Devils. For the Devils, Palat, Hughes, Bratt, Timo Meier, Hischier, and Mercer, Gricic, Lemico, Brown, Cotter, Glendening, and Nason, Siegenthaler, Hamilton, Hughes, Casey, Dylan, Nemechek, and then Allen is going to be starting for them in net. So they have been dealing with some injuries on the blue line. That's why you have so many of the young guys in net on the blue line for them. But still, this is a ridiculously deep team that can put up a lot of goals very quickly. For your San Jose Sharks, Toffoli, Celebrini, Smith on the top line, Eklund, Wenberg, Kurashev, Graf, Giles, Skinner, Goodrow, Delandria, and Reeves. So Michael Misa is not going to be playing in this game as they continue to manage his minutes. I'll pause for a second to let you your outrage as Misa, who had 8 shots on goal last game, not playing. So here you go. And we're back. Defensively, some changes. Orlov, Liljegren, Ferraro, Klingberg, Dickinson-Mukhamadullin. So Mukhamadullin coming back from injured reserve with Nedeljkovic in net. So let's start with that news. Adam Gaudette goes to IR. Mukhamadullin comes back from IR as the Sharks continue to get healthy along the blue line here. Mukhamadullin will be paired up with Sam Dickinson. This is Dickinson's 9th game, and as we talked about on today's episode, the Sharks are going to have to make a decision after this game if they want to send him back to London or keep him here in the NHL. And I have a feeling that it's, I think this game will, I still think Dickinson sticks, but if Dickinson-Mukhamadullin pairing can be solid, I think it kind of gives the Sharks a little bit more evidence to kind of keep him here and let him continue to develop. So that's what I'm watching for. The first thing I'm watching for tonight is Dickinson's play, right? Because the Sharks do have such a big decision to make with him. And I don't want one game to either good or bad kind of change their decision, but it could kind of help put the nail in the coffin or on their decision here with him. So how does Dickinson play, especially with Mukhamadullin? We've seen Dickinson basically paired with Desharnais since the beginning. Mukhamadullin coming back into the lineup. I think we know this pair is probably going to get limited minutes to start with, but I think Mukhamadullin's return will help with the PK because Mukhamadullin kind of does something different that the other PKers don't do, right? And we know how his ability to kind of help clear the net and be that kind of bigger, stronger presence in front of the net. So this defensive pair, I want to see how they do, especially against this high-powered Devils offense. The next thing I'm looking for here is, can the Sharks keep it going offensively, right? They've been scoring a lot of goals. They outplayed the Kings last game. But this is a much bigger test against a team that can go punch for with you when it comes to scoring goals. So I think for the Sharks to win this game, they're going to have to put up a lot of goals and try to take advantage of the opportunities. I know the last time these two teams played, it was 3-1 with the empty netter. I have a feeling this game is going to be a little bit more loosey-goosey than what we saw last time, and where all the goals are basically scored shorthanded or on the power play. So, excuse me. I think this game is going to be a little bit more wide open 5-on-5. Can the Sharks learn from their mistakes from last time where they didn't get a shot on goal the entire second period? Can you try to establish more offensive zone time? Can you try to the lessons you learned from the Kings game, can you continue to have those going forward? A game where, again, Sharks offense was extremely good and just got one goalied and two couldn't get a goal themselves. So I think that's a big thing is if this game kind of starts to go off the rails, can you go punch to punch with one of the best offenses in the league? The Devils are probably going to be a little bit more detail-oriented defensively, especially after giving up 8 to the Colorado Avalanche. So that's going to be a big test for the Sharks here, is to see if this offense is for real and if it can continue to do positive things that we have seen it do, especially over the last kind of week and a half here. Basically kind of ever since that Penguins game, right? You've seen this Sharks offense really start to bloom and come into its own. So I think those are going to be key is 5-on-5 play. You got to try to score some 5-on-5 goals. How do the young defensemen, kind of look in this game? I think for Nedeljkovic, right? We know Nedeljkovic is at some time in this game is going to be under siege. Can you make the big saves that we didn't get against the Kings? And the last time that the Sharks played the Devils, right? Askarov made some big saves in that game. Can Nedeljkovic make some big saves here after he's had basically a week off? So I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be like a 5-4 type of game. I think Dickinson gets his first point in the NHL. I think he's, as we talked about on today's episode, he's done a lot of really positive things and just hasn't gotten rewarded with the production and almost has gotten a little unlucky. I think Dickinson gets his first point tonight. But I think the Sharks lose 5-4. What's a really competitive game, but I think the Devils just have a little bit too much firepower. So unfortunately, the Sharks just not able to kind of to match it. So we'll have a full breakdown though on your next episode tonight after the game. So make sure you guys are following along wherever you get podcasts, and of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok at Locked On Sharks. Follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at My Fry Hole. Until tonight, bye, friends.